down on our big trips, but when we do, we break down big, and it sucks. We're not broken down in a town that's got a beach. We're not broken down anywhere nice. We're broken down where it's snowy and gross. Wish us luck. We got more truck problems.
Archaeologists will tell you that the entire population of the Earth were hunter-gatherers during the Ice Age.
So we're on our way to Barrett Jackson again. I thought we'd get better weather this year, but we're not. The drive's a little treacherous, but no matter how treacherous it is, it's not as bad as the trip we had last year. I've got a medium-sized story to tell you there. Teresa and I decided to buy a fire truck and get rich and make a buck on a fire truck. Turns out it was our biggest failed attempt at trying to figure out how to make a buck or two in the car world. The trip itself involved a ton of breakdowns. We tried to haul the vehicle ourselves, which was a big fail. And then the selling price, well, you'll see what the selling price was. Luckily at the end, we managed to bring home one of the coolest TV cars ever made. So you'll want to stick around and see that. It actually always works out good in the end. We always have fun. So project go to Barrett Jackson with a really super cool fire truck has now seen some problems. We're going to show you here. Boom. This transfer case has totally blown up on us. We are now going to the truck where we were lucky enough at 10 o'clock last night to find a transfer case. We're installing that. Here's what we look like trying to get to Barrett Jackson. New airbags that we just put in this morning, and truck with a transfer case. You know why I know it's going to be successful? Because the trip is going not according to plan. So far, Calvin made it through the border and blew up the transfer case and the front differential in the truck. We spent all day yesterday sorting that out. What a complete disaster. So it's 6 in the morning. I'm trying to get an early start because we're a day behind. We are looking to get, we don't know, a quarter of the way to the trip, through the trip this morning. The roads are completely icy. The big fire truck is heavy on the trailer. Wish us luck. We'll keep you posted. It has been an absolute gong show the first 3 hours of the trip. So hopefully we make another 8 today. This fire truck to Barrett Jackson turned into day 4 of repairing the old Dodge Cummins. It's in tough shape. We went from blowing up the transfer case, got it put back together, thought we were heroes, we were going to win, blew up the transmission, think it was related to the transfer case blow up. Luckily we have the old trusty fire truck to get us around from the repair place to the hotel. And if that's making sense to you, then maybe you know you can buy this old fire truck and have a great old time. So in all our bad luck, Calvin and I did find a super cool guy. We're actually putting the transmission, he's putting the transmission back together. We're getting the truck ready to go, and here's what broke on our transmission. That is the output shaft of the tranny. We figured it got hurt when the transfer case broke, and here we are again.
It's Firefly, the yellow one. Somebody else bought the yellow one. They said they did.
Okay. So the car world is actually this big. It might be this big. Any cool car that you get, somebody has a story about it or has seen it. It's really not that crazy to find somebody that may or may not know who you are or what car you have. But this story is super crazy. We're sitting here at a Rust Valley deal, and we meet Marty, whose dad bought the truck from New York, had it shipped from New York. You know that super cool fire truck and had all the breakdowns? That fire truck. Marty's going to tell us a small story about his dad and how cool the fire truck is.
Yeah, well, my dad bought that truck from the fire department, and a friend of mine, Matt, from Kentucky, towed it out here for him, and it's just a small world. You know, it's one of those things where he bought it just specifically for putting out fires if there's ever a fire at our place. And when he passed away, I inherited the truck, and it was sitting in the garage, and I just kind of thought to myself, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I sold it to a fellow through Facebook or Craigslist or whatever, and that was the last I saw of it. But yeah, it's just I overheard you guys talking about it. I would, to be honest, it was probably about 2010 or something, somewhere in that neighborhood, probably.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there you have it. Unbelievable story. 12 years ago, they had the fire truck. We got super excited about it 3 years ago. Bought the fire truck, enjoyed it, had it in local parades, did all the stuff we wanted to do with it. Thought Barrett Jackson would be the place for it. As you will see in this video, it didn't work out super good for us at all. We are not good automotive investors yet. But we'll keep losing money trying. Watch us. Stuck in Twin Falls, Idaho, with truck repairs, unfortunately. But look what happened. We were driving the old fire truck because that's the only thing that runs right now, and it has a new friend. I think it's awesome. Thanks so much, man. So here's our video. We've got the transmission guy here in Twin Falls. Saved the day. It's really late. You can see back there, we're getting started on installing this thing super, super late. We're very thankful. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as a person.
So many fun. How much am I gonna owe you guys after I get done?
How much? Yeah, how much? What try are you on, Dad? You which?
What try are you on?
I think we're on try number 4, hey?
40, you say?
4. Well, I'd say 4, but...
We'll say 4. 5 is my lucky number, so we probably got one more guy's got...
Never in the history of all the sketchy shit that I've done have I felt more like the Clampets than today. So we're gonna call this one the Arizona Wannabes. See if you can catch it. Well, let me tell you a story about a guy named JF. Poor hot rod builder, barely kept his family fed. And then one day when he's trying to make a buck, out from an ad came a really cool truck. Fire truck, that is. Red gold, super shiny. Well, the next thing you know, JF thinks he's a millionaire. His kinfolk said, get that truck away from there. Said Arizona is the place it ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and moved it to Barrett Jackson, that is. Super cool rides in ultra nice cars. Couple other really cool things. How you doing, sir?
Gas cap. You don't have to take the gas cap off. Just push it through. They all come with the C-Tech battery tender and the California car cover. There's the C-Tech. It's got the battery conditioning blinking light there. You always go good.
Minutes of your life, just wait in line at Barrett Jackson waiting to sell your old fire truck. After all the shenanigans that happened getting it here, yeah, it goes up in 15 minutes and it's a long wait.
Number 624, the title is In Transit on this 1944 Chevrolet fire truck. This truck is equipped with front-mounted Darley Champion 300 GPM pumps, as well as a 300-gallon water tank and dual hose drills. Ladies and gentlemen, this truck was in operation in New York until 2000, and it was retired 2 years ago. Number 624.
Well, Calvin, it's been a hell of a week. That was sure something. There's been some ups and downs. I think
a lot of downs. Like the trip getting here was something we've never experienced before.
It's just bumps in the road like a roller coaster. It's just, that's what it is. You go down, you go up.
We had high hopes.
Yeah.
We made all the effort to get it here. The old girl.
We even spent a day cleaning it up when we got here, you know.
It's a neat truck. I think somebody stole it, which is good for that person. And I think we're going to have to reconsider how we enter auctions, I think, in the future. I think, what's the word of the week?
Is it lemonade? Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When life throws you lemons, lemonade.
I gotta say, this show was something. I've been with you to a lot of car shows, and we've gone to some of the biggest ones, I think, in the world, but this was something to see Barrett Jackson as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. It's a dog and pony show. It's very interesting. It drives the market. It drives our business. It really does change how things are perceived in the old car industry and hobby for the next year. So I'm excited for the future. And I'm totally pumped about the trip home because we've got the coolest car, the whole place loaded up, and we're taking it back to Canada.
We do too.
All right, Craig Jackson just hopped out of that Pacer. What kind of auction is this if we can't have a little fun, right?
Absolutely. Wayne's World, 25th anniversary, selling the car again. What a moment.
Craig, we're not worthy.
I hear you. We're not worthy. We didn't have our mullets on.
Party on, Garth.
Well, like they say, it is Pacer time. Wayne's World, the 1976 Pacer that was actually used in the movie, is up on the block. I'm not sure this is what Freddie Mercury was thinking about when he wrote Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's what we connect to it.
This car sold at a Barrett Jackson auction a couple of years ago, and Craig and I had fun hopping into it and using the Twizzler dispenser that's up there in the headliner and just rocking out. I mean, what a great piece of whimsy, what a great piece of fun. Kind of makes you forget that in its second full year, the Pacer was American Motors' best-selling car line.
And it was very advanced for its day. I mean, it was really thought of as a safety vehicle. It was so wide, it had those tires that were at the front and the rear, big track, but it just was, while it may have been the top seller for AMC, it just didn't have enough to keep everybody going. In many ways, it was ahead of its time.
Well, they marketed this as America's first wide small car. And there was both the sedan, which is this version, and a station wagon version. The interior, pretty nicely appointed for the time. Cup dispenser, there is the Queen CD, and the all-important Twizzler dispenser in the headliner.
One detail is the passenger side door on these is longer than the driver's side door, literally by about 2 inches. And these actually were initially designed to accept a rotary engine. And if you ever open the engine bay on one of these, they're really wide. The American Motors patents people worked out with Wankel never came to pass, but a Wankel was initially intended.
Oh, what does it take to relive your Wayne's World memory, to say you're not worthy and head bop to the Bohemian Rhapsody? How about $65,000 for a 1976 American Motors Pacer, the one that they used in Wayne's World?
But this might top it all. Check it out. Yeah, it's the one, and how cool is that? We're gonna listen to Bohemian Rhapsody, and we might just go to a drive-thru and get some milkshakes or something fun. But this is it. Thanks to my good friend Kevin for buying this car and allowing us to bring it home to him. This is gonna make the trip. This made my week.
Licorice dispenser.
Milkshake dispenser.
Milkshake cups.
Pardon me, do you have any grape paw? Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
We have been through some ups, some downs, quite a few downs actually. And Calvin, what do we learn from that?
When you get lemons thrown at you, you make them into lemonade.
And here we had an opportunity to bring a car home that is absolutely near and dear to all of our hearts. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you knew about Wayne's World.
If you grew up in the 2000s and you're cool, you know about Wayne's World.
And we are cool. So we got to take it for burgers and milkshakes.
Run party on.
And it made our day. Yeah, so party on, Calvin.